David here, weekly week report. Today is Sunday, 13th of August. Our market obviously closed looking at November 2013 UK wheat chart. So 2017, don't know where I got that from. 7:27 a.m. in the morning. Just start with our yearly plan we've had in place, and obviously we were looking for level 152, which obviously we've now got. Below this, I identified the next level of support down here on the Fibonacci was 135. So let's pop down into the yearly chart. I've got these two levels marked on here, 152. Obviously we can see quite clearly that the market went up and broke through this, tested it and fell back. We can identify that we've got the 60 SMA on here. I've put an envelope either side just to give us some kind of gauge where we didn't break through and where we possibly could see support come back in. I've got a level here of 135, which we identified off our original plan 3 months ago, and the envelope comes in at 132.93. So if we expect prices not to hold this SMA 60, we are 142 close on Friday night. The SMA stands in at 143.93, so we're less than a pound below it, but it's starting to erode it. And where would we see support come in? We could see support come back in at 135. Let's pop down into the monthly chart. Got nothing, just plain price action on here. We can see that this month here is significant. We've got a big red candle, two red candles now. We're coming back to test this swing high here. We can quite clearly see with the eye here, 142. Let's pop down into the weekly. On the weekly chart, I've just run as 20 SMA, which takes us back to the sort of 1st of April averaging. So you can see now how this recent fall from 154.50 the high, 142, has eroded all that price action of the last 3 or 4 months. We're now closing on Friday night below it. We last saw this back in November, and obviously we can see here this swing high here, 142. Let's pop down into all important daily. I've marked here, we left a big gap up here, a crap gap, when it broke through this 152 level. 53 didn't hold it. We eroded that pretty quickly. We had a gap here left in May. These are the two swing highs here. We failed to break through this in May. We're now here as we speak on Friday night. We're testing it again. If this doesn't hold, then I think we probably could see lower. I've put an envelope on the 60 daily SMA just to give us some kind of indication of if I would consider this a major break, and I would on the price action and time. We've now held below what we got, this 1% shift below the 60 SMA. We last saw this back in December, early November, and we continued down. We can see that the stochastics now are locked in, so indicating that we're in a short-term downwards trend in a long-term upwards move at the present moment. So how can we put a plan on this? What I've done is same chart here. I've just drawn a 10 SMA, so obviously this will give us 2 weeks price action to keep an eye on. I've identified that we've got single price action that we saw here back in November, where we broke through the 60 SMA and came below it. This circle here identifies here, if you cast your eye, either side. We've got locked in stochastic here, locked in stochastic there. We are below a 1% shift, so I would expect prices now to follow down. Where would my eye sort of catch you would be first coming back down to this 135 level. So we possibly have got sort of that where we put a target figure. Where would I see this change? What I've done is I've used the 10 SMA to indicate if we then would see a crossing of that, to indicate that we're then going back up to retest the 60 SMA. So for next week, what I would expect is more of the same. If we do not hold this swing high here, 142, we could come down, possibly test 48, or we were looking at major support down here, little gap 138. We'll not see a change of this short-term 10-day trend until we see sort of two closes above the 10 SMA. So let's sum up. We in a long-term upwards trend that we've been in place all this year. But at the moment we're seeing price action negative. We've fallen below the last 3 months the moving average. We have got 42 as a level. If that doesn't hold, then we are going further down. Where will we stop? Somewhere in this area here. Where will we rise? When we see prices coming back above the 10 SMA. Okay, and I'll put an update this time next week. Thanks for watching.